Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the starting lineups for the visiting Bruins of the University of California at Los Angeles. At forward, 6'6" and a junior. From DeRidder, Louisiana, number 11, Mike Sanders. At forward, 6'7" and a sophomore. From Mission Hills, California, number 30, Darren Day. At center, 6'7" and a sophomore. From Carson, California, number 34, Cliff Pruitt. At guard, 6'3" and a sophomore. From Pasadena, California, number 14, Michael Holton. At guard, 6'1" and a sophomore. From New Britain, Connecticut, number 10, Rod Foster. The head coach of the Bruins, a North Carolina graduate in his second year, Larry Brown. And now, the starting lineup for your Fighting Irish. At forward, 6'6" and a senior. From Essex Fells, New Jersey, number 44, Kelly Trapuka. At forward, 6'9" and a senior. Out of Mansfield, Louisiana, number 32, Orlando Woolridge. At center, 6'10" and a sophomore. From Farmington, Michigan, number 53, Tim Andre. At guard, 6'6" and a senior. Silver Springs, Maryland, number 30, Tracy Jackson. At guard, 6'2" and a sophomore. From Kettering, Ohio, number 23, John Paxson. And the head coach of the Fighting Irish, Richard Digger Phelps.
Well, PA announcer Jack Lloyd, those hormones are working for him this year. We're ready for the opening tip-off. The Irish of Notre Dame, the Bruins of UCLA.
It's your skin, baby, and I like it very, very smooth. That means a super close shave. So trust Noxzema, because you'll need all the soothing comfort you can get. Like I said, it's your skin, baby, and I like it very, very, very smooth. That feel good? For shaves this close, trust Noxzema. It's your skin, baby.
When we test Goodyear tires, we really test Goodyear tires for rumble, squeal, expansion slap, traction, shake, wobble, nibbling, bounce memory, stability, high speed, response quickness, hydroplaning, ice and snow skid, curb scuffing, tread wear, thump, slaloming, steering return, and roughness, to name a few of our tests. It's testing like this that adds that one crucial ingredient to every Goodyear tire: confidence.
For visiting UCLA in the backcourt, it'll be Holton and Foster, who led them into the finals of the NCAA last year. Cliff Pruitt, another sophomore at center. Mike Sanders, junior, and another sophomore, Darren Day, at forward, a young UCLA team. Notre Dame, a veteran, tough, strong club. Trapuka and Woolridge at forward. Andre, the sophomore at center. Tracy Jackson, a senior, and Paxson, the playmaking guard, number 23. Notre Dame, much taller and much stronger. Controls the tap. First game played at Pauley Pavilion back in December. UCLA won 94-81. Paxson was the leading scorer for Notre Dame. UCLA led by Sanders and Holton. Paxson. Notre Dame leads it 2-0.
Straight man-to-man defense by UCLA as expected, and Paxson has really done the job against man-to-man defenses. Digger didn't want any tissue thrown down on the floor, particularly if he makes that first basket, because he wants to keep that mold.
Well, Digger did his homework last year when he recruited Paxson to take the place of Richard Branning. You always must recruit when you have a good junior, then you bring in the freshman.
Al says to beat UCLA, you must slow them down, take their speed away.
Notre Dame in the matchup zone defense with Kelly Trapuka on the top.
Holton 14. This is Foster, their best outside shooter. The tallest man on the court for UCLA is 6'7".
Dick, this is a great defense. I think Notre Dame plays the matchup as well as anybody in the country, particularly when you got a guy like Tripucka that can play the top.
Aaron Day can't hit it. Rebound Sanders. He misses everything. And Day follows it in, 2-2.
Well, they need that basket. They have to get off the snide in a place like this. It's possible you can go down 12-0.
Paxson to Andre. Tripucka.
Day on Tripucka. Tripucka really has some power on him.
Jackson against Holton. Woolridge, he's been hot. Short on that one, and rebound by Sanders. List him at 6'6". He's 6'4" and a half and playing basically the center position. Larry Brown off the bench shouting out the play call. As Al pointed out, in the first half, UCLA is shooting into the student body of Notre Dame, so Larry Brown wants him in the second half at the quieter end. Foster, and UCLA leads it 4-2.
Quick release.
He really is. He's one of the most explosive release guys in the country. Has a very unorthodox shot.
Notre Dame, in the last 118 games at home, losing only 9 times. UCLA has 3 of those scalps. Jackson, not there. Sanders clears to Foster, and there was a foul. Over the back was Andre, apparently. Coach to beat Notre Dame.
Well, don't play them at home. I think that's the key to beat Notre Dame.
They have not lost in 12 games at home this year.
Digger Phelps telling Tracy Jackson not to force the shot. We've seen so many times where Jackson has one of those days that either feast or famine. So far today, he's been shut down twice. There's that matchup zone again.
I don't like the matchup zone this early in the game because you take the crowd out of the game.
Sanders hits, and UCLA leads 6-2.
They're letting UCLA govern the offensive rhythm down the center, Billy.
We play 2.5 minutes. Notre Dame favored in this rematch. Irish have lost but 3. Tripucka hits it. 6-4 the score, UCLA.
Well, last year you saw Kelly Tripucka tighten up an awful lot. They said the weightlifting really affected him. This year he's much smoother, much more mobile. And obviously one of the great college players in the game.
The key to UCLA's win in the first game was the fact that Tripucka and Tracy Jackson made only 7 shots out of 25 attempts. They don't figure to be that cold today.
Larry Brown trying to give instructions from the sideline. He recognized
That's what he should do, Billy, right?
He recognizes the matchup. Now you've got Digger going to change his defense. I really think against Notre Dame, and when they're playing that matchup, you ought to run your man-to-man offense. Make them move.
I'd take the crowd out of the game. I'd sit on the ball for about 45 seconds.
Andre knocks it out of bounds. You can see how jammed it is at that end of the court. There's barely room for Day to get his feet out of bounds as Digger Phelps.
Oh, great shot.
Digger will lead this defense in about 30 seconds, in my opinion.
Mike Sanders scores, and he was fouled. Andre's second foul sends Mike Sanders to the line. We have 2 athletes on each team from the state of Louisiana. Sanders from DeRidder, Louisiana, and Orlando Woolridge of the Irish is from Mansfield.
How did Dale Brown ever miss those 2 guys?
Well, he doesn't miss much, and his LSU team still powering their way on. And with that loss by Kentucky to Tennessee yesterday, LSU really in a commanding position in the Southeastern Conference.
3-point play for Sanders. Timeout, and UCLA jumps to the early lead. 3.5 minutes have been played here on the campus of Notre Dame. The Bruins from the West, 9. Notre Dame's Irish have 4.
Flight operations, Hawaiian Islands.
155 is the go, Bird. And the green right rudder. Bring up 155 on number 2 elevator. Cloud top to 28,000 feet. Alpha Hotel, your wind is down the deck at 28 knots.
The Navy. Over 75% of our jobs give you technical training. Get one.
Launch aircraft. And clear. Sound clear.
Speak to your local recruiter or call this toll-free number. Navy. It's not just a job. It's an adventure.
This bud's for everyone who wraps it, stacks it, and sacks it.
This bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Mr. Goodwrench, can I get an oil change, filter, and lube job in a hurry?
Sure. I'll do it while you wait.
Mr. Goodwrench knows you don't have time to waste, so he can offer while you wait service on many popular jobs. And he has the special GM tools, GM training, and genuine GM parts available to back it up.
All done? That was fast.
Well, time is money, Sam.
Keep that great GM feeling
Where Mr. Goodwrench works.
with genuine GM parts.
Next Saturday, see exciting regional action, followed by the unbeaten #1 ranked Oregon State Beavers against Lou Carnesecca and his powerful Redmen of St. John's. Next Saturday.
UCLA and Notre Dame off well offensively. And it's been the Bruins, surprisingly, on the boards, helping themselves to a 9-4 early lead. We play 3.5 minutes here at Notre Dame.
Boy, they pick up right at that half-court mark with a lot of pressure individually.
Tony Anderson in the game is guarding Tripucka. Anderson 45 for UCLA. Andre back outside to Paxson. Paxson hits again, and it's 9-6. 4 points for him.
Outstanding body control in the air.
So far, I'd have to say from a tempo standpoint, UCLA is moving the ball at their pace right now.
Notre Dame changed their defense like I figured they had to. They had to create more physicalness underneath.
It's really an interesting match of the two coaches, Phelps and Brown. They're guys. Andre makes the steal.
He's going to get in trouble if he keeps dribbling that ball. Yep. He traveled. That's
Good
too
call.
bad.
Good call, Billy.
He should have pulled up as he crossed half court. No place for him to go.
And that's exactly what Digger Phelps is saying. Tim, take it easy. Good job, but don't hurry.
6'10" guys do not dribble the ball.
Unless their name's Samson.
Or Russell.
Yes. They're back now. They're back. They showed them one time a man-to-man defense. Now they're back to the zone. They really switched defense as well. Oh, that's a
Foster,
mistake.
he likes the corner shot. Rebound Anderson.
Rebounding by UCLA is amazing. They're really
Foster
quick.
again. Not there. And a foul on Andre. That's his third. So Tim Andre, in just 4 minutes and 45 seconds, is strapped with 3 fouls.
Doesn't make too much difference, Dick, because they come in with Joe Klein, a 6'11" freshman. He's out of Missouri, but they really alternate the fouls, so they have 10 fouls to give him the center position.
You know, Dick, these two fellas, it's amazing the similarities. One's playing 11.8 minutes a game, the other 11 minutes a game. Almost, their stats are almost identical.
Cliff Pruitt has his first goal, and UCLA leads 11-6. The Bruins nearly perfect.
Quickness is telling so far.
5 minutes gone. Tripucka, and the foul on Anderson as he tried to take away the baseline. First foul on Anderson.
Offensively, Notre Dame has to slow down a little bit, put someone down there in the box and punch the ball in. Defensively, they got to become more aggressive. They're not clearing their own boards. UCLA is beating them on the offensive rebound.
Man-to-man out of bounds.
Tracy Jackson, his first shot is in there. 11-8 the score.
Man-to-man out of bounds. Set a little screen. Easy shot for Jackson. And boy, when he gets off the mark, he's a streak player. So look for him next time down the court.
Man-to-man out of bounds is a no-no.
2-1-2 zone defense now. Notre Dame changing again.
I think they're really floating off Pruitt, Billy.
Now what they showed a 2-1-2. They're really playing man-to-man now.
Pruitt has a good shot and makes it. 13-8.
Well, we're supposed to do that, Dick.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Coach.
I'll give the next commercial.
You got it. Paxson with Foster. Woolridge and Pruitt. Woolridge has 3 inches on him. Paxson again. And Klein rebounds and scores. Joe Klein. His first basket, a freshman from Slater, Missouri.
The coaches getting into the action with the officials on the sideline.
They're really trying to neutralize each other. If Larry gets up, Dickey gets up. If Dickey gets up, Larry gets up.
Here's a straight man-to-man by Notre Dame now.
Sanders, short jumper, is there, and UCLA continues to hit. They've been shooting at about 75%.
Cannot keep up that percentage, but they are getting off the floor quicker than the Notre Dame players.
15-10. We played 6.5 minutes. Paxson, a step on Foster, and Anderson picks him up. Tripucka, good move, and scores!
Super move inside. Notre Dame's got a bad matchup when they go man-to-man. Is inclined to try to handle one of the quicker fellas like a Sanders or an Anderson. Or a Pruitt. He gets matched up against a real quick man. Now Notre Dame goes back to the zone.
He's going to hold it. It's about time. Just hold it. You're at home. Notre Dame has to come out man-to-man. Not going to let the clock tick down.
Obligation of the defense behind to come out and force pressure on the game.
But Notre Dame stayed in the zone.
They just fake man-to-man. I think Larry will take it back out again and make them force him to play.
Mike Sanders inside to Pruitt. Over Klein. Not there. Rebound to Paxson. Here come the Irish trailing by 3.
Digger wants them to be real patient on this time down the floor.
All they got to do, Billy, is punch the ball in down low to Kelly.
Woolridge has it stolen by Anderson of UCLA. 3-on-1 break. Foster to Holton. Michael Holton at 6'2", ramming it home.
A slam dunk.
He's the player I like. Michael Holton, I think, can do just about everything on the basketball court.
Unsung, too, Coach McGuire.
Yeah, low-profile kid.
17-12 the score. Notre Dame trailing with the ball.
Oh, they had the 1-4 offense. Had Woolridge inside. Didn't see him.
There's Tripucka working that baseline. Open. Tracy Jackson. Way off the mark. And the rebound to Holton. 2-on-2. Holton. Open is Foster.
Oh, what quick
goaltending. Goaltending against Notre Dame. Foster gets the basket and UCLA's biggest lead of the game, 19-12. Let's watch the fast break.
Notre Dame cannot get in a run game with UCLA. The quickness factor is just so overwhelming in the favor of the Bruins.
That's Holton's goal to play before. And there's
the layup in the trap.
Boy, Woolridge was up there cleaning the glass. 11 minutes, 33 seconds remaining in the first half. Notre Dame.
If you're a businessman trying to save a buck, Hertz can help.
My lunch, my script, pencil. Rent a car, $29.99.
Just $29.99 per weekday rents a Ford Escort or other subcompact with 100 free miles. You can save on larger cars, too. So rent from Hertz. Saving money can turn a small businessman into a big businessman.
Hey, man, I want natural light.
A dapper skyscraper like you, Switch?
Sure, for me, natural light's great taste run hoops around everyone else.
And there's nothing artificial in this less filling beer. It's made with only natural ingredients.
Yeah, but taste is why I switched.
Whoa, nice. Cashmere?
Whoa, you can call it cashmere, you can call it reindeer.
Or you can call for more beer.
Natural light. Taste is why you'll switch.
See exciting coverage as golf's top pros, including Lee Trevino and Tom Watson, tee off after a $325,000 purse in the Hawaiian Open next weekend on NBC.
Well, a guy with a great heart's going to help us celebrate this Wednesday. Bob Hope, special salute to Valentine's Day. Lineup includes Kathy Lee Crosby, Barbara Mandrell, Charlene Tilton of Dallas, Phyllis Diller. Hilarious skits will include a special look at Bob Hope's love fantasies and Dear Bob, Advice to Lovers. That's all this Wednesday on NBC. Bob Hope.
Look at those team rebounds, Dick. Notre Dame was 7. UCLA was 7 to Notre Dame's 2. Their quickness off the floor and being able to spread Notre Dame out a little bit is really giving them a big advantage there.
You saw that note that Notre Dame has been the leading rebounding team in the nation the last 5 years, and UCLA 10th. 19-12. Bruins lead the Irish with 11:20 left. Almost a steal. And a jump ball. Number 3, Ralph Jackson, is in the lineup for the first time for UCLA. He's the highly heralded freshman. He started, in fact, in UCLA's win against USC on Friday night in Los Angeles, a very important Bruin victory in the Pac-10 race.
Watch the quickness of Sanders off the floor on this jump. When you talk about quick leapers, Klein got a tap on him, had him by 2 inches.
Foster alone with Paxson. And out of bounds. Oh, to UCLA. They got a break there.
Yeah, that was a bad call.
Bad call. Paxson can't believe it.
They could have called it for Palmer over here, I think so, Billy. Paxson had good position. The ball just went off his hand.
Yep.
Bill Varner comes into the Notre Dame lineup. He wears 34. And here comes Fields, 54 for UCLA. Kenny Fields was very ill last night and therefore did not start today. He was disciplined and did not start Friday night. Came in the last 10 minutes. The first half was the player of the game in the victory against USC.
Really the only UCLA player with the bulk-type body to go up against Notre Dame.
But he's only 6'7".
Dick, I think you should say that discipline was just a walk along the beach to get his head straight.
Sanders scores again, and he's fouled. And Mike Sanders conducting his own clinic. Let's see that one again.
Quite a move, particularly came back with the right hand, I believe, here. Going up against Varner. Yep, he did shoot the right hand, not the left. Beautiful turnaround jumper. See him inside, turns. Normally you'd get that right-handed shot blocked. You'd have to go back with a left hand. Quite a move. He's really quick and strong.
That's what it is. He spins so quickly that the other fellow can't adjust that fast.
I still think that's an opportunity where Notre Dame really should have had the ball. That ball, without question, went off the hands of UCLA.
Sanders looking for his 10th point already in the first half. And hits it. Got a kind twist off the iron. And UCLA opens a 10-point lead.
The Irish need a basket right here.
Got Sluby in the game, Varner in the game, guys that don't get that much playing time from a starting standpoint anyway.
Sluby's very tough.
Paxson.
Tough shot.
Rebound, Woolridge. He dunks it home. Orlando Woolridge.
Got to be careful now. Woolridge, when he makes the dunk, he gets the crowd going and could get Notre Dame into their whirlaway gear.
That for Woolridge was his first points of the game. And again, Larry Brown says, make them come out of that zone defense.
Nice counter, Coach Brown. Settle down that dunk. That's what he's doing.
He's brought three fellas out now to hold the ball, which means Notre Dame's got to come out with two. Before he had two men out, Notre Dame just sent one man out.
There you are from upstairs as you look at UCLA trying to draw the Irish out of that zone defense.
Now a zone is when 5 people are playing the ball. And usually they put extra pressure over the ball is. Watch the man on the ball. All right, now they're playing areas rather than man-to-man. The losing team must come out and create play. Notre Dame's down by 8. Digger has to put them out man-to-man, or they should just about now give a warning.
Well, they're out far enough now. They got to be within, they got to be out in the playing area right there.
There's some room for the Rocket.
Should have bounced that one, Rod. Oh.
Charging foul against Notre Dame, and Digger Phelps is most unhappy with that call.
That's an excellent call. We'll see the play down the other end. Paxson tries a wild flyer here. Woolridge just doing a great job off the boards and comes back and goes up strong with the dunk.
Billy, I don't know if that last charge was a great call because Darren Day put his arms up to stop the momentum of the drive. I think you got to take your chest forward. You can't move any part of your body.
Well, you can't extend your arms, but you can use it to protect yourself.
I don't think so.
22-14, UCLA with the ball, trying to draw Notre Dame away from the basket.
And there's no time and distance call on the dribbler, so the dribbler's got to stop.
Great pass, good block by 34 Varner as Foster tried to set up Sanders.
That's a great block by Varner. Good pass inside by the Rocket. Sanders, as we said, is a quick leaper, and look at Varner getting it before he got up there.
Sanders in the corner. Darren Day back outside to Rod Foster.
But the two coaches way out of the bench area. Now Digger has to be careful. He is beyond the coaching area, and Larry Brown's countering him. He's moving up to half court.
Look, he's right here near his dribbler.
You gotta watch out when the referees don't break their legs tripping over these two guys.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the referees ought to tell them to get back to their bench area and make them stay there.
Both of them. That's right, Billy. That's a good point. They should make them both go sit down. Actually, they're both in violation.
And I can't believe the official's not looking at it. This is, by having 3 men out, Notre Dame has to bring out at least 2. They've got all 3 out there, man-to-man.
I think they got to stop the jerking around and play man-to-man and get it over with.
Foster had a little trouble with the handle. Now it's to Sanders. 8 minutes remaining in the first half. UCLA leading here at Notre Dame 22-14. Nice move by Darren Day.
Nice.
Goaltending is a call. Goaltending against Notre Dame. The basket is allowed. Day gets 2.
But you notice with UCLA spreading you out on the half court, in the half-court area, their quickness, really, they take advantage of it so well. Here's Day coming around. Now, he goes up for the dunk. Now, to be honest with you, and we see the second play coming right back there as UCLA had them spread out, you can block a dunk shot.
Larry Brown happy with the call. His Bruins lead by 10 with 8 minutes left in the half.
Here come the Zenith Factory Specials. 5 Zenith color TVs at super low prices while they last. You can choose from 3 big screen consoles in fine furniture-style cabinets, or 2 19-inch table models. All 5 factory specials bring you the brilliant Zenith picture, and 3 offer the convenience of Space Command remote control. So save now with the Zenith Factory Specials. Get them while they last.
The Maverick. You've got to get him back. And when you've got him, you head for the mountains. Bush. Head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Bush. Brewed the natural way for a taste as smooth as its name. Bush.
Head for Bush beer. Head for the mountains.
NBC Sports World coverage of the World Pro Figure Skating Championship, the speed of World Cup slalom skiing from Austria, and Herschel Walker and Skeets Nehemiah in the Milrose Games later today.
Another outstanding lineup on NBC today. Enjoyed the boxing earlier. Now UCLA Notre Dame later on NBC Sports World right after our basketball game. Charlie Tickner will be one of those featured in that marvelous competition, the World Professional Figure Skating. You'll see Ingmar Stenmark and Phil Mayer on the slalom slopes of Austria, and then highlights of the Milrose Games. Some records set in that competition. Here at Notre Dame, 24-14, UCLA leading the Irish. 8 minutes left in the half.
Kelly Trapuka going to come back into the ball game. Surprisingly, in minutes played, he is 4th on the Irish list.
Paxson is the man that has been most consistently used by Digger Phelps. There he is with the ball. Into the alley, can't hit it. Out comes Holton. No advantage, but he has a charge. Yes, it is. And a foul against Holton of UCLA. He really didn't have the advantage.
Nope, he didn't have any angle whatsoever. Paxson did a good job coming back.
Watch that one big step he takes, Bill, before he charges. There it is.
Yep.
Too big of a step.
Yep. Yep. Boy, that was some collision. You see, UCLA for the first time on their break, it was 1 against 4. There were 4 Notre Dame guys back, so really no place for Holton to go.
Reminder, we'll be selecting our Chevrolet $1,000 scholarship award to the outstanding player in this game. That announcement, of course, later in the second half.
As against Darren Day, trying to keep Trapuka from going underneath. Solid screen committed. Here we're going to see that man-to-man out of bounds again, Al.
Start getting the ball to Kelly Trapuka if you want to get back in the game. You're down 10.
Team fouls, UCLA 3, Notre Dame 5. 7.5 minutes left, first half. Trapuka. Right down the bottom of the well, 24-16. Trapuka was 6.
Dance with the girl that you brought to the dance.
Throwing a lot of stuff out on the court. Referees wisely slow things down. You know, Darren Day was playing fine defense against Trapuka on that jump shot. Had his hand right up there, but beautiful release.
Next time down, you'll get down the blocks.
Digger Phelps at the far end. Larry Brown is now seated. There you see, no, Brown's going to come out and join Digger.
Now they're just watching each other. He is not going to let Digger get control of the floor.
Holton takes a handoff.
Straight man-to-man now.
Yep, they're coming out and playing him.
Day has Jackson. That's Fields and Sluby, stolen by Woolridge. And Orlando wisely will hold it up, get it in the hands of the playmaker Paxson. Woolridge is alone.
A year ago, he'd have taken a wild jumper from there. Good experience.
Jackson. Not there. Rebound to UCLA. Sanders comes up with a loose ball. Out to Ralph Jackson.
There's a break here.
Darren Day. Stolen by Paxson. Quick hands by John Paxson. He's only a sophomore.
Digger has to really be concerned about UCLA's dominance on the boards. They're really doing the job, getting out in the break. You see the play there. Paxson gets a good hand on it.
Sanders outside to Ralph Jackson, freshman, Inglewood, California. Ralph Jackson's first attempt not there. Sanders again with the offensive rebound. He has 12 points.
They're too quick on the offensive board the first half for Notre Dame here. They got to either box out or get a little quicker on those boards.
This is Tom Sluby, the freshman from Washington, D.C. Tripucka hits again, 26-18. Tripucka, the number 6 scorer in Notre Dame history. He could move into the number 5 slot with a big game today. As you look from upstairs here at the ACC on the campus of Notre Dame. UCLA leading by 8.
Larry Brown's key move by pulling it out against that Notre Dame zone has forced Notre Dame to go straight man-to-man the rest of the way, which is the way UCLA would like to play it.
This is Fields.
He's going.
Freshman. Out there, Woolridge rebounds for the Irish. He's second to Tripucka in rebounding.
Mike Sanders gave Coach Larry Brown the high sign to get him out. He wants to blow.
5 minutes and 20 seconds left in the half. Sluby. Jackson. Almost lost it. Jackson versus Jackson in that matchup. The senior Tracy of Notre Dame and Ralph, the freshman for UCLA. Paxson sets up Jackson. 26-20 the score.
Dick, that's all they got to do with that muscle they got is get the ball inside. Punch it down to the blocks, inside the paint, and that's all she wrote.
Larry Brown has called timeout for UCLA, feeling Notre Dame getting the momentum. Great assist by Paxson, who leads the team in assists. 4 minutes, 57 seconds left in the first half. UCLA by 6.
Economy cars. There sure are a lot of them around. But check out their sticker prices, and many don't seem quite so economical anymore. Fortunately, Chevy Chevette isn't like most economy cars. Because not only does Chevette offer good gas mileage, like this, it also offers you a low Chevy price, like this.
Hold everything. Effective immediately, there's a $100 price reduction on every 1981 Chevy Chevette.
So why buy an economy car that just saves you gas when you can buy a Chevy Chevette, best-selling small car in America?
The name of one of America's major life insurance companies may surprise you. It's State Farm. We're probably better known for homeowners and car insurance, but more and more families are discovering we're good for life, too. We deal with customers on all kinds of family insurance, so we get to know their needs. Because we're family insurance agents, we can do a better job in your life insurance.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's life insurance the State Farm way.
This is Bob at Vice of the Love, Learn, Hope. On our Valentine's show, we have Barbara Mandrell, Kathy Lee Crosby, Charlene Tilton.
What about me?
Oh, yeah, and a funny Valentine, Wednesday.
One of the 6 cameras here at Notre Dame, directed by Harry Coyle, our producer George Finkel. We're pleased you've joined us. 4 minutes and 57 seconds left in the first half. UCLA ranked 12th in the nation, leading 9th-rated Notre Dame 26-20. There's your top 10. All were winners with the exception of Kentucky. The Wildcats beaten by the Volunteers of Tennessee. So Tennessee should move up from that number 10 spot.
Next week we got Oregon State in New York against St. John's. That'll be a big one.
Oregon State still unbeaten. They defeated Stanford yesterday. Yeah, don't forget, that's a Saturday national telecast. Oregon State, a lot of folks around the country wondering, how about the Beavers? What do they look like? How good is Steve Johnson? Ray Bloom and company. Ralph Miller. Well, you'll see him next Saturday here on NBC, and then Sunday another national game, Maryland and North Carolina.
Digger came back out in the zone. Larry Brown with the score getting back a little bit closer. He's probably going to attack the zone this time instead of pulling it back out.
26-20 the score. 4.5 minutes left before the intermission. Fields to Pruitt.
I wouldn't attack it. I'd take the ball out at half court and hold it.
He's got Jackson.
Because you're allowing Notre Dame to have their strength and taking away your quickness.
Tony Anderson from deep in the corner. Not there. Woolridge keeps it in play. Tripucka picked it up. So the Irish now can draw within 4. They were down by 10.
What do you want to bet on Kelly Tripucka now?
It should be Kelly, but we don't know.
Got Anderson playing him down there. Larry Brown using some fouls. He's been alternating Anderson and Day, trying to keep a fresh man on Tripucka all the time.
There's Trapuka pulling up from the drive. Rebound by Pruitt of UCLA. Hemmed in by 3. Irish can't get it out.
Oh, beautiful play by Kelly.
And then Trapuka had to go off his knee as Ralph Jackson made another good defensive play back for the Bruins.
Good call by the official there.
Well, I really would have to fault the UCLA players. Pruitt was hung up by 3 men. Somebody should have come back quickly. The ball, give him a chance. So the 3 guys, and everybody was standing watching. And there's that ball hit by Jackson, Dick.
Or someone should have called the timeout, if you want.
26-20, UCLA leads. 3.5 minutes remain. First half. Been a good half of basketball as these teams honing their skills as we look a month ahead to the playoffs. Away from the ball, a foul. Paxson holding Anderson. Don't forget at halftime, we've had a lot of fun with our halftime shows with the former Marquette University coach, and we've talked a lot about what a great shooter Dirty Al was back. I'm sorry about that, but back at St. John's and with the Knicks. Well, we're going to see Al McGuire in action in a one-on-one game with an All-American, from Kansas. And
Three-time All-American.
3-time All-American from Kansas.
Darnell Valentine?
No, but
score wouldn't have been quite as bad if it had been Darnell.
UCLA playing it in. Kicked out of bounds by the Irish. Richard Digger Phelps in his 10th year here with the Irish. If he wins today, it'll be his 200th victory at Notre Dame.
Foster back in the game. Looking for the outside shooting. He's got Paxson on him.
Anderson, there's Foster, 10. He is UCLA's best shooter from outside. Pruitt driving on Sluby. Well, that's a tough shot.
He's taken a lot of tough shots today. That Sanders is really a great rebounder inside for his size.
Neutralizing the whole baseline of Notre Dame.
UCLA has not scored in over 3 minutes now. Notre Dame trailing by 6 with the ball. Traveling Woolridge.
Notre Dame trying to take too many things on one-on-one by themselves. You know, they're not really in the flow of their offense against UCLA.
Please report to security.
Larry Brown is 40. He's 1 year older than Digger Phelps. Not only two of the outstanding coaches, but they both are vying for the Beau Brummel Award in the college game.
Where does he play?
Is it some fashion salon? Pruitt back outside. Holton to Foster. Clock ticking down, 2:14, 2:13 left in this first half.
Larry going with a 2-1-2 setup, breaking the guy to the high post.
Anderson, UCLA's scoring drought now has been 4 minutes, but Notre Dame hasn't taken advantage. It was 26-16 at the 6:10 mark. Now it's 26-20. Notre Dame scoring only 4 points. UCLA none. That's Foster. Woolridge with a rebound.
That 2-1-2 matchup defense by Notre Dame really causing UCLA problems. It's been a long, long drought. Fortunately for them, they've been able to do the same thing to Notre Dame at the other end.
Tracy Jackson with the ball. Holton on him. Inside it goes to Trapuka. Short. Gets it back and scores. 26-22. So Notre Dame 6 unanswered points, and there's 1:20 left in the half.
That probably was about the first or second quick move that Notre Dame has made around the baskets.
Now back to the point where they had about 4 minutes to go, and Notre Dame went back in that zone, and you said pull it back out. They had a 8-point lead at that time. I think about 6.
I don't think you should throw any parties, especially on the road.
Would you go for the final shot with a whole minute to go?
I would if you're going to sit back there. You're on the road. You got a 4-point lead. Someone told you earlier in the game that you're going to be 26-22 ahead of Notre Dame. Would you be happy? I think Larry Brown said I'd be tickled. So this way here, they might win 6
He's going for one. He's going for one now.
Brown orchestrating the offense from his kneeling position in front of our position.
Well, they're getting a good screen on Jackson. They can get a jump shot off for Foster by setting that screen.
You know what I think, Billy? I really think that Rocket's forced to get a shot off anytime he wants, just about.
Yeah, he only needs a brush.
Okay, Holton with 11.
8 seconds, they got to go for it.
Tony Anderson, and he traveled. So with 5 seconds left, Notre Dame will shot. They didn't want Anderson with the ball, but they waited too long.
They really did. Now UCLA wanting to push the defense all the way full court to make Notre Dame work all the way up court. UCLA is going to push their full court pressure up.
Paxson.
Nice.
Let it go, John. Let it go.
It counts. It counts. And what momentum that gives the Irish.
Let it go, John. Let it go. And off the window.
He made the great spin dribble coming up court, which broke him open.
So UCLA does not score the last 6 minutes, 10 seconds of the half, and Notre Dame pulls within 2. Paxson dramatically at the buzzer.
Hey! You're driving half a car!
To prove Haviland Supreme gives cars engine protection up front.
I know, but...
Well, you should know. It delivered proven protection in punishing state trooper testing.
Yeah, but...
Where's the rest of my car?
Yeah.
Here it comes. To prove Texaco's Haviland Supreme delivered improved mileage, too. Upfront protection backed by improved mileage. That's Haviland Supreme.
Do me a favor.
I know. Prove how good Haviland is in the next county, huh?
Your work's been hard, your journey's been long, but coming home makes it all worthwhile. Then you head for the mountains. Bush. Head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Bush. Brewed the natural way for a taste as smooth as its name. Bush.
Head for Bush beer.
Head for the mountain.
Head for Bush beer.
Announcing for a limited time only, the Owens Corning February Pink Sale. Prices are shrinking on pink Owens Corning fiberglass insulation. Adding an extra layer to your attic can save on fuel bills. And now the February Pink Sale will save you on your insulation too. Go for it. Put your house in the pink with Owens Corning fiberglass insulation now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trouble spots like these are what separate Gillette Atra from all ordinary razors. The reason? The Atra pivot. It keeps the blades at a perfect shaving angle, giving you a better shave than any razor that can't pivot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many more reasons do you need? Gillette Atra. The pivot makes it better.
Gillette. When it comes to shaving, we give you the edge.
Thursday, they had guts. They had style. They formed Murder Incorporated, the Gangster Chronicles, starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain. Parental discretion advised.
Well, the score rather low as you reflect on that and compare it with other scores. Based on that, the winner would score 50 points today, but certainly the action was much more toward than 26-24. Your reflections on the first 20 minutes?
I thought that Notre Dame made a mistake coming up in the match-out zone because they allowed UCLA to govern the rhythm of the game and took the crowd out of it. And I think UCLA has an advantage this half because they're going into the season ticket holders and away from the student zoo section.
Billy?
Well, I think if Larry Brown gets a 6-point lead somewhere in that second half and Notre Dame goes back in his zone, you'll see him bring him back out like he did early in the first half and not take a chance to attack against the zone.
So UCLA leading 26-16 with 6 minutes, 10 seconds left. Did not score the rest of the way. Notre Dame with Paxson hitting at the buzzer, pull within 2. We'll be back with college basketball report after we pause for these words from your local station.
Sunday, the most shocking event of the 70s, becomes a landmark motion picture. Why were these students killed at Kent State? Jeff, a fun-loving musician who thought everyone was his friend. Sandy, she cared more for people than politics.
I'm against the war and all, people getting killed.
Sunday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain. Parental discretion advised.
The Bell System College Basketball Report is brought to you by the Bell System, reminding all you people in motion that your public telephone is the easy way to call as soon as you can.
Have you ever flown on a plane? You've been in an airport. You know, airports got something so you can talk to people who aren't even there. The public phone. You can make business calls or important calls. Calling from the airport is so convenient. Gives you something to do when there's nothing to do.
All you people in motion, here's a good notion. All over the land, call soon as you can.
I could have done that.
Now, anyone familiar with this great game of basketball knows there's that game of one-on-one if you have only two to play, but you have to have a good shot if you want to win it. Dick McGuire, Al's brother, I remember he had that great two-handed set shot. What was your best shot?
A chippy layup with nobody guarding me.
Well, let's see the coach in action. Al McGuire against the most unusual opponent as we go to the Midwest playgrounds. Kansas University, a school with a great basketball tradition. The man who invented the game, Dr. James Naismith, coached at Kansas. They won the NCAA championship in '52, runners-up 2 other times with players like Chamberlain and Lavellette and JoJo White. But the only 3-time All-American in school history, Lynette Woodard, averages 26 points a game for the top-rated Jayhawk women. Our own Al McGuire challenged Lynette to a little one-on-one.
If you shoot and it hits the rim, I gotta bring it back.
Oh, you got it, yeah, but I don't.
Right.
If I get it, okay. 1, 2, 3. Lucky. Lucky. Oh.
Lucky.
She knows how to put hurt on you.
Oh. Get out of there. Hey, this is a show now. I've got to get the ball sooner or later, you know. Okay. God, you're not supposed to make them when I touch your hip. I'll give you that professional handshake, you know. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I got to go to confession.
What?
She's taking you to school.
I hope the guys in the neighborhood aren't watching.
Out of there once.
It's all legitimate.
He made the first 5 in a row.
Right. We're playing a game to 7.
5 you got, huh?
Now you're trying to break her momentum by that little stall, huh?
Plus I'm pushing and hugging.
You're out, you're out.
If I get any closer to her, I'll be in back of her.
Get out of there once. Oh, mine. Mine, Ned.
Listen, do you breathe?
Nothing, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of, I didn't know I could breathe that hard anymore at my age.
I gotta move in.
You're breathing harder than you're throwing the ball.
Oh, she made a basket case out of me.
5 zip?
Kept me too long on D.
No root on the side there, ref. Hers. Yeah. 6.
I gotta get her on blacktop. I'm no good on wood.
Woo! That was good. But yeah, 6 zip. 8 zip, I gotta sweep the floor.
3 times All-American. She's really a player's player. She's probably the best girl basketball player in the country.
Lynette Woodard.
Here I go with my famous back-em-in 1936 hook shot.
That's when you know you're in trouble.
It's like taking a 2-hand shot from the outside. You're gonna have to bring in an innovator soon.
Rage. Woo!
You could get arrested.
Hey, does NBC
just
have an
on the
insurance policy on me? Annette, here comes my first basket, all right? Oh.
This is bad. That's an air ball.
Time a second.
When you put your hands on your knees, you're tired.
But when you get down on your knees, you're really exhausted.
Hey, come on, you. Come on.
Come on, little girl. One more try.
6-0. Ready?
Now I'm starting to rough her up. Watch, I'm really pushing her. She gives me an elbow. I should have punched her then. I had a sister that was a great basketball player, Kathleen. She's semi-pro years ago. couldn't do what this girl can do. See her go through her legs that time?
That's all she wrote? That's it.
Lynette Woodard 8, Al McGuire nothing. Let's say it together. That was a Dunkirk.
A blowout.
26-24. UCLA leads Notre Dame at halftime. And later on Sports World, you're going to see outstanding track and field competition. Let's go now to Charlie Jones, Bruce Jenner, the Milrose Games at Madison Square Garden.
Herschel Walker, number 34, freshman football sensation, who led the Georgia Bulldogs to their #1 ranking with the win over Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl. Well, Herschel Walker is making his debut in Madison Square Garden. He is here today in the Milrose Games on Sports World, the 60-yard dash. He is in lane 4. Next to him in lane 3 is Houston McTeer. Out very quickly in lane 6, it is Emmett King. King wins the heat going away, but Herschel Walker finishes second, and he qualifies for the final.
Charlie, I always wonder about the times football players come up with it if they're for real. But Herschel Walker is for real. He's got a tremendous amount of speed. As he comes out of the blocks, he's got a little bit of work to do right there. You see his arms, he's flailing a little bit, but he's staying. He's got that tremendous speed and that tremendous strength. He's staying right with Houston McTeer. Emmett King just nips him out of the tape, and Herschel Walker has a beautiful lead for second place. And Charlie Jones, Herschel Walker's for real. He's got a tremendous amount of speed.
And Bruce, we will see him in the finals on Sports World right after the basketball game.
So stay tuned for NBC Sports World. We'll have the Milrose Games highlights as well as figure skating and slalom skiing. 26-24 at halftime. UCLA leading Notre Dame. The second half of action coming up right after we pause for these. And a little personal message to our colleague, Mr. Packer. The only AC is the one you're in now, of course, referring to the Athletic and Convocation Center, as opposed to the Atlantic Coast Conference. And we're going to be seeing two ACC teams next Sunday, North Carolina and Maryland from the University of Maryland. Let's look at the first half statistics as Digger Phelps chats with his athletes and Larry Brown the same.
Well, both of these teams are excellent field goal shooting teams all year long. There's no reason to be different today. And 57% is an incredible figure, particularly against this tough defense.
UCLA only 2 free throws, made them both, and Notre Dame did not get a free throw. And Digger Phelps reminded the officials of that as he came out prior to the second half and said, hey, it's amazing, we didn't shoot a free throw. A little gamesmanship, and that's when Larry Brown went down. As you see the individual scorings, Mike Sanders not only leading in scoring, but 6 rebounds to lead both sides.
Very rare in a game where neither team gets to the 1-and-1 in the first half.
And even though Tripucka sat down, you saw that he was once again a leader in scoring. Dick, I think that thing between Digger and Larry Brown a little more serious than that. Those two guys are really going after each other. We're going to see some combatsmanship on the sideline before this game is over.
Well, you remember a year ago, Digger accused Brown of dirty tactics late in the game when Tripucka was hit in the face, and it was learned later that it wasn't a UCLA player that hit him. It was an accident involving either an official or another Irish player, and then Digger then apologized after, but Larry didn't quite accept it. Tripucka, chance to tie. And Foster rebounds, took it away from his own man Pruitt. Foster.
What a throw.
Paxson rebounds, and he's fouled by Darren Day. Let's reintroduce the starters. It's Pruitt on the front line along with Sanders and Day for UCLA. Holton and Foster in the backcourt. Tripucka, Jackson, Woolridge, Varner, and Paxson.
It looks like Digger has decided that he can't play one of his big power centers, so he's actually matching up more with UCLA than the other way around. Both Klein and Andre on the bench.
Tripucka to the hoop and scores. The game is tied. That's 10 unanswered points for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Kelly, in my opinion, is definitely an All-American. I didn't put him on my first team, but he's the starter in the second team.
Well, I think legitimately he's making a move on Mark Aguirre and Ralph Sampson to be a legitimate candidate for a Player of the Year, depending on how far they can take their clubs.
Inside it goes. That's Holton, and they're going to call charging against Holton of UCLA. Let's go back to Tripucka. He went to the goal and scored. UCLA tried it, and they wound up with a charge.
Well, Tripucka just powers this one through. Great body control, good concentration, kept it right up in there off the boards.
Now Holton at the other end.
I think that foul should have gone the other way. I thought Holton had the corner turned on him.
Tied at 26. Tripucka again inside. Woolridge, he scores. UCLA, now this is the first time Notre Dame has shown its dominance inside, its power.
Digger is really mad at the crowd for throwing the toilet paper. They threw it down at the start of the first half, and it takes away the momentum they've got going.
Yeah, but you know, it's time for tea against the sixth man. How many times can you stop a game to pick up toilet paper? Unless you have the flu.
Yes, Digger referred to it in the pep rally last night as the flu academic.
Great man-to-man by Notre Dame now. Ooh, big play.
Good save by Foster. Paxson almost had the steal. UCLA playing tentatively now. They've gone 8 minutes without scoring. Once leading 26-16. Sanders scores, and the leading scorer for UCLA now has 14. New game with 18 minutes left.
Boy, Sanders' stats for that first half. He is 5 for 7, had 6 rebounds, 1 turnover. Super game.
Aaron Day, good rebound. Foster, how did he stay on his feet? Goes all the way and sets up Holton. What a play by Rod Foster. UCLA back in front, 30-28.
In the breakaway, there's no one in collegiate basketball that can catch him.
Varner, wide open, ties it up. Bill Varner, his first bucket.
Notre Dame really playing well in their offensive structure without that center in there right now. Everybody they've got on that court is a good shooter.
Now Notre Dame in the zone defense. Now in a tie game, it is still the responsibility of the defense.
That's right.
While the noise still a factor, you see the UCLA shooting at the quieter end. Pruitt hits Cliff Pruitt, the sophomore. Makes it 32-30. He has 6 points. Now Notre Dame shooting toward the student body end.
Varner a little bit unorganized. Big break for Notre Dame.
Foul against Jackson, backing in. Foster with a little acting.
You know, the case for Varner there was to just pivot and take the ball away from the defense instead of trying to throw it on over their head. Now Jackson got a break and then charge.
Actually, Sanders was the man who set up the play by taking it away from Varner.
That's the end of that break where Foster was so incredible regaining his balance to get over half court.
The game is going to turn into a physical, tough game underneath. Both teams will get to the one-on-one this half.
Ralph Jackson, number 3, has replaced Holton. Pass is knocked out of bounds to UCLA. Excuse me, Al.
Yeah, and also the coaches are working the refs hard. I think Larry Brown has settled down a little bit, but he can't let Digger get the edge, so he has to neutralize it. But it will be a physical game. He's going there right now.
Pruitt to Jackson.
I think the refs are getting very close to hitting someone with a technical foul.
And they'd be smart to stay away from that sideline as best they can. Of course, they're trying to get the angles. We saw that case with Bobby Knight, had the official standing right in front of him and asked him to move by gently yanking his leg.
Sanders over Woolridge, way off the mark. And it's Varner with the ball for Notre Dame. The Irish need a basket to tie. We've played 4 minutes of the second half.
You know, surprisingly, both coaches are working the same official.
Paxson can't hit, but a foul on Pruitt of UCLA. Cliff Pruitt appealing his case.
The personal UCLA number 34.
Paxson really has that reverse dribble down. He's so solid in all the aspects of the game for a point guard. Good dribbler, can penetrate, knows how to pass, hits the outside jumper. He's one of the best in the country.
Don't forget last year, Billy hit 4 straight foul shots at the end of the game against UCLA to give Notre Dame the win here.
Stay here, my ball.
32-31. Paxson, a 73.7% shooter from the line. And he was the leading scorer for Notre Dame in the first game at UCLA.
Here's the student body. You see no rocking and rolling. You see no discotheque. They're silent. Now, obviously, if
For
it was,
their man.
Yeah, if UCLA was shooting down at end, which is a bad decision to make.
Well, Paxson ties it up, and we have a timeout here at Notre Dame. 4 minutes, 9 seconds gone. Second half. They're even at 32.
There is just one place where you can go from high school to flight school. The Army.
All that you can be. Oh, yeah. Keep on reaching. Keep on growing.
Today's Army has more pilots than the largest airline.
All that you can be.
Not bad for a rookie.
'Cause we need you in the Army.
They wanted you to build bridges over rivers, but you had other plans.
And Monte Carlo.
Your car is the strikingly new 1981 Monte Carlo with the economy of a responsive V6 and fresh, clean, sharply sculpted lines. And you'll choose it because you're proud of who you are.
You and Monte Carlo.
1981 Monte Carlo, a matter of personal pride from Chevrolet.
The new Bic roller feels so smooth you don't just write, you go with the flow.
I am against this here, Bill, but sometimes you gotta go with the flow.
Hey, can I borrow your pen? My marker's turned to mush.
Philip, you gotta go with the flow.
The new Bic roller lets you go with the flow and go, because our point won't turn to mush no matter how hard you push.
Wilson, and Wilson are going with the flow.
The Bic roller, go with the flow.
On NBC Sports World, see the World Pro Figure Skating Championship featuring the unbelievable acrobatics of Charlie Tickner, plus Skeets Nehemiah and Herschel Walker in the Milrose Games later today.
Only the 7th coach in UCLA history. Larry Brown last year about this time was 8-6. They were headlining the Bruins and Ruins, and how he rallied his young team, took them all the way as the surprise entry to the national championships to be beaten by Louisville at Indianapolis.
You know, 2 years ago, Dick, we did a show, you, I, and Billy, and I made a statement on that show that UCLA would not win another championship in this century. And remember, you looked at me as though I was like a Neanderthal man. But winning championships is so difficult. There's 264 teams out there.
That's right. And when you try to pick one even this year, as people say, who do you like? It's pick 40 or 50 teams. Just throw a dart at it, and you may have the winner. We'll see one of the favorites next Saturday, Oregon State against St. John's. Tied at 32.
Getting into their motion. Pruitt has had a hard time today in shot selection. He's forcing a lot of shot opportunities that are just not there. Kind of interesting, too, Al. When he made that mistake, he looked back at the bench. That always worries you a little bit, a player that looks over to the bench when he makes a mistake.
Well, he's thinking of a yo-yo. That means, you know, getting coming out. But Pruitt's a nice young guy. I remember when he was at Bourbon Day.
Tony Anderson knocking the ball away. Notre Dame will play it with Paxson, the trigger man. Both coaches earning their pay this afternoon.
That man-to-man defense again. Got him in trouble again. A little screen on out of bounds. That's the third time Notre Dame has scored against the out of bound at the end line.
34-32. Tripucka with 14 to lead the Irish. 5 minutes gone, second half. Notre Dame has led twice in the game, both in the second half, each time by a bucket.
Clear out, let Rockets go.
Mike Sanders off to Foster. Good defense by the Irish. Back out to Jackson, Ralph Jackson.
Woolridge is becoming the stopper at the power forward defensively.
Pruitt over Varner. He hits it. Cliff Pruitt ties it at 34.
He also looks over the bench after he does something good, too, baby.
8 points for Pruitt. Both Fields and Holton are at the scorer's table for UCLA. They'll be coming in at the next break. Woolridge had it taken away for a moment, and it's tied up by Sanders. Good job by Mike Sanders. A reminder, this Wednesday, Bob Hope, special salute to Valentine's Day, featuring Kathy Lee Crosby, Phyllis Diller, Barbara Mandrell, and Charlene Tilton of Dallas. Bob Hope's Love Fantasies and his advice to lovers. That's all this Wednesday on NBC. Look at Sanders, who is 5 inches shorter.
Oh, let's see
actually got the tip.
Dick, what happened that time for UCLA on that pass right before that? We'll see the jump first. Talk about quick leapers. Watch Sanders going up. He just beat him to the ball, even though Woolridge got height on him and also is a great leaper.
They're both what you call high rise.
Both from the Bayou country. 34 tie, 6 minutes gone, second half. Kelly Tripucka, he wants the shot. Out of bounds to UCLA. It actually hit the top of the backboard. That should have been out of bounds.
No, you're right. It's all right.
Once it goes behind it, then it's up.
Right. Well, they've got Notre Dame spread out. They just can't punch the ball down inside. Woolridge is doing such a great job on Sanders, and nobody else is now with Fields in the game. Maybe they get another inside player.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Billy, that the Irish aren't using their big centers because Andre has 3 fouls on him. I think it's time for him to get back in the ball game.
Knocked out of bounds again by Notre Dame. In case you just joined us, the game is tied in the second half. We have 13 minutes, 44 seconds left. Irish 34, the Bruins 34. Dick Enberg with Al McGuire, Billy Packer. UCLA led by as much as 10, 26-16, with 6 minutes left in the first half. Then did not score the rest of the way. Notre Dame pulled within 2 at the half. The Irish have led twice by 2, and a foul against whom? The Irish, Woolridge. Digger Phelps wanted a charge against UCLA.
He wanted the charge prior to the foul by Woolridge coming down over the arm. I look for the guy. We'll see it right here. Here's the reverse. Woolridge holding his ground pretty well. Gets his leg tangled up and gets hit and came down over the arm. It's going to be Sanders on the line.
Very tough calls, Bill. They're judgment calls, really, and it's the angle the official has on the play.
Darren Day motioned into the game. And Tony Anderson goes out. Here's the leading scorer for UCLA, Mike Sanders. He's a junior. 2 times the Louisiana State Player of the Year, 3 times All-State, and was outstanding in the tournament last year for UCLA.
Dick, I think if UCLA is going to start moving offensively, Fields is going to have to start getting the ball. Now, he's been sick, but they've got Fields on, with Varner on him. That's the best matchup for UCLA inside. They need to keep the ball away from Sanders-Woolridge matchup.
Scoring the basket is the best doctor in the world.
They're counting the number of dribbles Sanders took before he shot, and he makes them both. He's a perfect 4 for 4 from the line.
You know, there's a problem there. He's taking more than 10 seconds.
That's
you only allow 10 seconds once the ref hands you the ball.
That's what the count was all about.
Outside is Varner, a little out of his range, and Sanders gets the rebound. Nice pass to Darren Day. Back to Sanders, a little out of his range. So the Irish come back, trailing by 2. Tripucka with the ball. The Irish have lost only 3. Their opener at UCLA, 94-81. There's another steal by Sanders. Darren Day. Oh, watch out. Tripucka made sure he didn't shoot.
Calling it a 2-shotter, but it would have been anyway. He wanted to make sure it wasn't a 3-point play. Tripucka really took off after him. Here we're going to see good lead pass. Put it out in front of the man, let it bounce so that he has an opportunity to go to it. There's Tripucka coming across the arm.
When I used to coach on things like that, Billy, I should try to say, float the ball towards the basket. Don't put it towards the man.
Exactly. Just float it out there, let him run either under it or let it bounce one time.
Darren Day has had his troubles at the line. He's only a 68% shooter. Tony Anderson comes in, and Mike Sanders will go out for the Bruins.
He's shooting 64% from the field and 68% from the line, and is a better shooter than that. He has a good touch.
This guy's a player, but what happens, he changes position. I think last year they had him at guard for a while. Now they got him at forward.
You know, Dick, with the new foul shooting rule, too, remember Day used to throw that ball up in the air?
That's right.
The new foul shooting rule, when it leaves your hands, you can go into the lane, so he had to change his technique.
Jackson with the Irish down by 3 to Jackson. Ralph Jackson guarding the senior, Tracy. Kelly Tripucka against Darren Day. And a whistle away from the ball on Fields of UCLA. The freshman Fields, the center, picks up the foul. Don't forget, after our basketball action today, an outstanding Sports World presentation. You'll see continuing action, 3rd round of the 7 rounds of that World Professional Figure Skating Championships. Charlie Tickner, our top male skater last year, will be featured today. It'll be Stenmark and Meyer on the slopes of San Anton, Austria, and also Ronaldo Nehemiah and company Melrose Games. Some highlights. Stolen again by UCLA.
Wasn't enough room in there that time.
Jackson ahead today. 37-34 UCLA. 12 minutes, 14 seconds left, second half.
Now with Sanders out of the game, you've got Woolridge on field, so takes away that one little plus that UCLA had.
I was surprised how tough Fields was playing Woolridge defensively.
Yeah.
Pushing and shoving in there. Usually a freshman is more timid.
We have a timeout here at the Athletic and Convocation Center. 12 minutes and 3 seconds left in regulation. UCLA by 3.
Wally Kurjan, Engineering Model Shop. This is who we are and what we do at General Motors.
In our new J car, the station wagon and the sedan have a quarter panel and side frame and one stamping. The model maker has to create this in wood. The automobile is checked against this model. The customer will notice that the doors fit better, there's less wind noise, and less rattles.
General Motors. People building transportation to serve people.
Excuse me. I'm not the same crazy coach who used to storm around the sidelines yelling at the officials. I've learned to relax, and I drink light beer from Miller. Do you know that light's got 1/3 less calories than a regular beer? And listen to this. Light doesn't fill me up. Besides that, light tastes fantastic. Oh, sure, there are a lot of other beers around, and you can drink any one you want. But let me tell you this. For
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
As I was saying, I don't care what anybody else...
Next Saturday, see exciting regional action, followed by the unbeaten #1 ranked Oregon State Beavers against Lou Carnesecca and his powerful Redmond of St. John's. Next Saturday.
Next Saturday, we have a basketball doubleheader for you. Those are some of the regional games. LSU playing terrific basketball. Georgia, we saw how tough they can be against Kentucky, Missouri, and Oklahoma in the Big 8. Arizona State, one of the top 10 teams against UCLA. And then you'll also see our national game, top-rated Oregon State, ranked first in one poll against the Redmen of St. John's from the Nassau Coliseum. It's a doubleheader on Saturday, and then on Sunday, another national game, Maryland and North Carolina. 37-34, UCLA leads. UCLA's ball.
Notre Dame playing man-to-man out of bounds.
Into Fields. 12 minutes left.
Buca out of the game. No, he's back in.
Anderson, and he's hammered inside. I believe it was Tom Sluby that committed the foul.
The guy buried underneath the crowd was Tripucka. I thought he went out of the game maybe for a little rest to get himself organized for the last 10 minutes of this half.
Tony Anderson, you see the black patches worn on the uniforms of the UCLA Bruins in memory of Tony Anderson's brother who died earlier this year.
Ron Sluby, who fouled him, reminds me a lot of Adrian Dantley in his body. It's chunky and rounded.
Adrian Dantley had a big game apparently yesterday.
55. I tell you, he and Dr. Dunkelstein get themselves pretty well organized for that ball club.
So Notre Dame runs into a bit of a scoring difficulty, and they've fallen behind by 5 now with 11.5 minutes left in the game.
Great man-to-man by UCLA, and this team is so quick. They overplay every pass. Really make it tough to run your offense.
Tripucka against Anderson, pulls up for the 15-footer and is short. Darren Day. Paxson came close to a foul.
You've got to give a try to your centers in there. You've got to go back to Anderson.
Oh, nice move by Day.
And the foul is on Sluby of Notre Dame. His second. Next weekend on NBC, along with the basketball, it's the Hawaiian Open, the Waialae Country Club in Honolulu. We hope you'll follow us from tee to green, 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Lee Trevino, Tom Watson, all the top pros battle for $325,000. Final round action on Sunday, 4:30 Eastern Time, here on NBC. So UCLA continues to drop in the free throws. Darren Day makes it 40-34.
I think that was a great catch, and then immediately off the pass, Day put it into high gear. Went right by Tripucka.
Misses that one, so Day has 7 points in the game. 11 minutes, 10 seconds left.
Triple stack down low there.
Blocked beautifully by Fields, but they're going to call it goaltending. Basket counts. It's 40-36. That's the first basket for Notre Dame in nearly 4 minutes.
Here we see a triple stack inside. Fields comes all the way over. Out of position area right there to make that block. Showed how high he can get off the floor.
6 points for Orlando Woolridge. Look at him battle on defense. Anderson. Out of bounds to Notre Dame.
Notre Dame got a big break that time.
Yep, Sluby was really out of position. Anderson couldn't quite get the handle on it on this lob. Here it is. Sluby was out of position when he came down. Great block by Sluby over the top. We'll see the ball right here on the sidelines and just touched by Anderson out of bounds. Great call by the official.
40-36. Notre Dame trails UCLA as we approach the midpoint of the second half. Paxson. Oh, tough luck, but Anderson pulls down the rebound. He's surrounded by 3 Irish, so UCLA has a break opportunity, but Paxson, good hands that deflected out of bounds.
Holton was going to fire down to Sanders in the corner. UCLA gets, their transition is so quick from one end to the other. They really have some quickness.
But you know what surprised me is that UCLA's defense is outstanding.
It really is. They're man-to-man shutting off the passing lane.
Day, and he got away from Jackson. Jackson fouled him before the shot.
They're getting Day to the foul line an awful lot, but he's the worst foul shooter they've got.
First foul on Tracy Jackson. It stops the clock with exactly 10 minutes and a second left. Rod Foster in and Ralph Jackson goes out for UCLA.
Dick, how many is that in regard to the one-on-one?
Team fouls in the second half. 5 for Notre Dame and 5 for the Bruins.
They will be in 1-1.
Fall away jumper by Day, and it's 42-36. 8 points for him.
Notre Dame's got to get the second shot. They got to get into their muscle game. They got to punch the ball down low in the paint. Has to be.
Paxson outside to Woolridge. Trapuka. Woolridge from 17. It's good and a foul.
See if the shot counts. It's a big call here. This is a big call.
The basket is good and the foul against UCLA away from the ball. So that means Notre Dame gets the 2 and gets the ball out of bounds.
Personal, a common foul on number 14, Michael Holton, his third.
Here we see the pass back, the shot's taken, no question about the shot. Quite an angle right there, and Notre Dame gets it back, an opportunity here for a 4-pointer.
And Holton now with 3 fouls, the first Bruin with 3. Inside to Woolridge. A 4-point play for the Irish. It's 42-40.
That's the 5th time today Notre Dame has scored off the out-of-bounds situation.
Billy, all they got to do is get the ball down low and blow them out of there. Now, UCLA obviously has to spread the court out and play their quickness against Notre Dame's strength. But Notre Dame is not using their strength down here. Kelly Trapuka's coming high. Woolridge is coming high.
3 seconds.
Foul against UCLA.
3 seconds, I believe.
3 seconds.
Yep.
All right.
We'll see that. There was the screen. See, Woolridge set the screen for Trapuka inside, and he just rolled it back into him. There's your power game.
Hey, I've been doing this work for 4 years. Anyone can tell me you're supposed to play man-to-man on the out-of-bounds ball under your own basket. I'll end up going to an idiot house.
You see, you've got to use man. You've got to use
zone.
You
got to. You got no choice.
Set up.
Looking for a tying basket, partially blocked by Holton, and a late whistle foul against Holton.
He did commit the foul, but it was excellent defense on his part. If he hadn't come down with a wrist, I think he got off with a nice block.
So a chance to tie it for Tracy Jackson. 4th foul on Holton, and that forces a change. Ralph Jackson will come in for the Bruins. Cliff Pruitt also returns for UCLA.
Bruins returning to the lineup, number 3, Jackson.
Holton didn't want to sit down. Very solid basketball player.
But Billy, I still feel that UCLA is governing this ball game. It's just a feeling I got. They seem to be governing the way things are going back and forth. Now, lately, the last 2 minutes, Notre Dame has started to kick the ball in deep. I mean, close to the basket. UCLA seems to be playing under complete composure.
So the game will not be tied. Tracy Jackson, averaging over 12 a game, has only 4 points today.
Well, we talk about him, the feast or famine man of this ball club. When he's hot, it really gives them an added dimension.
42-41, 5 consecutive points scored by the Irish. 8:45 left in the game.
They showed him a little zone, but I think they're really in the man-to-man, just disguising things a little bit. We'll see when a cutter goes through. Well, Trapuka didn't go with him.
Foster. Trapuka blocked it. Paxson brings it back the other way. Tracy Jackson into the alley to score. Notre Dame ahead 43-42. Timeout UCLA.
We talk about the feast of the famine man. Tracy goes across the lane. Good extension on the hook shot. Excellent play.
8 minutes and 11 seconds left, and they're celebrating again in the Notre Dame cheering section. The Irish lead by 1.
When our band's cooking, the music smokes. But not me, because like a lot of my friends, I use Skoal smokeless tobacco. I just take a pinch of that good-tasting wintergreen flavored Skoal between my cheek and gum, and it gives me real tobacco pleasure without ever lighting up. So when you want something that smokes, listen to the Charlie Daniels Band. But when you want real tobacco enjoyment without smoking, try Skoal. The pinch is all it takes. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Hey, here's a guy who's turning coal into gas. Watch. Wow, that's a good way to use coal. It's called coal gasification, and Texaco has developed a special process to do it. Right now, Texaco is working with other companies on an even larger demonstration plant. By making gas from coal, Texaco will save enough crude oil to make more heating oil and more gasoline. Texaco's coal gasification, one more way we're working to keep your trust.
See exciting coverage as golf's top pros, including Lee Trevino and Tom Watson, tee off after a $325,000 purse in the Hawaiian Open next weekend on NBC.
Coming into this game, Notre Dame trailed only Oregon State in the nation. Division I teams in field goal percentage, and UCLA was in the top 10. Rebounds, that's an amazing statistic. Notre Dame always tough on the boards and have been out-rebounded by the shorter Bruins today. But Notre Dame leads where it counts, 43-42, with 8 minutes, 11 seconds left in the game. Leading scorers, Trapuka 14, Woolridge 10 for Notre Dame. Woolridge has now scored in double figures 34 straight times. Paxson has 8. For UCLA, Sanders 16, but he hasn't played much in the second half. Dave with 8 and Pruitt with 8.
Sanders back in there now as Fields sitting down.
Pruitt and Sanders back in the game for UCLA. They've been well rested now. Sanders sets up Day. Off the glass, nice touch.
Beautiful play. The second center position flashed in there, hit him on the weak side.
That was Mr. Wooden's offense right there.
The
Nick,
Wizard of Westwood.
How many years did you watch that in action?
Sluby has it deflected. Foster gets it. Charge. Foul against Foster as Woolridge found himself in the right position to pick up the charge.
Yep. Smart play by Woolridge. I tell you, any loose ball UCLA kids get their hands on. Look at their hands are so quick. Now Foster's got no place to go. That man falling on the floor out. You're going to be doing a show with his uncle here shortly.
Yes, I'm going to New York tomorrow to do a show with Willis Reed for halftime for the St. John's Oregon State game next Saturday.
Willis Reed, the uncle of Orlando Woolridge.
He's the assistant coach at St. John's.
Trying to post up Kelly Trapuka inside. They've got him.
He scored, and Day is called for a foul.
That's a smart play by Notre Dame. They surrounded the court, put Trapuka inside, all alone. Pruitt just couldn't handle him. You see it out here. They pulled the ball back out. There's a nice pass inside by Woolridge. Kelly Trapuka really, really tough to handle in there.
A lot of credit on that pass. It's a very difficult pass because the blue man's floating from the weak side of the court. Watch the pass. There's open man number 30 floating from the weak side.
Trapuka, three-point play, and the Irish lead by 2. So they've had a 4-point play and a 3-point play. in the last 3 minutes. 7:05 left. Notre Dame by 2. It's been a classic. This is a tournament-style pressure game.
Well, Digger said he likes to play a lot of teams away from home to get ready for the tournament. Good play by Sluby.
Sluby stole it away from Pruitt as the UCLA Bruins gambled on the cross-court pass.
That's why he plays his last game of the year on the road. It gets them ready for a neutral court or a foreign court. They're taking on DePaul March 8th, which you see on NBC.
Foul on Pruitt, and that sends the Irish into the bonus. Second foul on Pruitt. By the way, we're going to see Notre Dame against Virginia. That'll be a national telecast in a couple of weeks from the Horizon in Chicago. The game has already been announced as a sellout, so looking ahead on our national games, gentlemen, we've got some dandies. Well, at the line, Kelly Tripucka. A lot of power, and much of it comes from right there, the legs. In fact, they've also been judged as, I don't know, would you call his legs beautiful? At least he won a legs contest out in California against women.
I call him hairy.
He finished second to a lady in another contest.
She must have really been hairy.
I'll tell you, I was a born soccer player. Did everything with my feet. Took out the rubbish with my feet, made the bed with my feet, drove my mum crazy. But I finally found something I enjoy doing with my hands, drinking light beer from Miller. Light has a third less calories than the regular beer. It's less filling, but what really makes me happy is the taste. It's terrific. Now, my mum should be happy too. Look, Mum, no feet.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
You want your import car to run its best. So insist on top quality Napa brand parts. The trusted name in domestic parts is now the name to trust in import parts. When the name is Napa, the standard is quality.
Well, 7 in line is an interesting number. Ray Meyer is the 7th head coach in the history of DePaul, and we'll be seeing that grand gentleman in a couple of weeks when he plays Notre Dame. Larry Brown, his team led by 10 in the first half late. They've fallen behind by 2, and Notre Dame's at the line for a 1-and-1.
You know, Dick, it's interesting when we go into those huddles like that. A lot of coaches have different philosophies about it. I think Abe Lemon's the funniest one. He always says, I always tell them one thing, because if you tell them more than one, they can't remember them anyway. But how many things do you think you can get across in the course of a timeout? Huh?
Well, the way I used to do it, if my kids said they understood what I was saying, I knew they didn't. But if they said nothing, then I thought they might have understood what I said.
Huh?
Tripucka misses a critical front end of a 1-and-1.
Boy, he grimaced as he backed off of that line, too, because he likes to be on that line in the key ones.
UCLA with a chance to tie with 6.5 minutes left.
Notice how Digger has stayed in the man-to-man concept, even with the lead or a tie.
Sanders tied up. Sluby, he's playing a great game. The freshman Sluby defensively has really been tough inside.
Quick hands. He touches every ball to keep it alive. That was an automatic 2 points then by Sanders if he got control of the ball.
With that big, bulky body, another one of those Washington, D.C. I think you call it the Washington, D.C. connection.
Yeah, he looks like a large fire hydrant.
6'4", Sanders a little taller.
Oh, he got the jump.
Boy, that's unusual.
Right. Great timing by Sluby.
That comes from those powerful legs.
46-44, Notre Dame leading with 6 minutes and 10 seconds left. Notre Dame's never been ahead by more than 2.
Uh-oh, you can't let it shoot from there.
Rebound, Sluby misses, and Sanders loses it. Out it comes to Pruitt, and he's tackled by Tripucka.
Oh, his father, Frank. You know, he was an All-American quarterback here, I think, from 1943 to 48. And, but he looked like he was playing football there.
Hey, your memory's pretty good.
There's Jackson, hits the jumper, doesn't go, but Sluby comes up. Really a power play inside. Probably should have used the left hand a little bit. Sanders battling. He's had a sensational day off the boards, and here's that tackle you were talking about, Al.
It was a clip. I got to drop the yellow flag on that one.
His dad, Frank, number 2 in the nation, were the Irish in 1948 when he was their quarterback. It's down to a 1-point game. We're going to share with you an interesting comment by the new Notre Dame football coach, at the pep rally last night, because as you look at the scoreboard, it may develop. He gave a big inspirational speech to Jerry Faust, and he said, "You student body, I want you to come out there and treat this team like a #1 team. I want you to give it all you have for 60 minutes. Give me 60 minutes of cheering."
He doesn't understand that's a quadruple overtime.
Well, you know what? They have 20 football players to try and recruit here at the game today.
You know what? This is terrible to wish on somebody, but he is so fired up. He really needs to lose his first 3 games.
Oh, no,
no,
don't say that.
You're going to get mail.
Billy.
Anything to get mail.
He really is such a nice guy.
Well, I'm not saying he's not a nice guy, but he's just in another world. You know, there's enough here in Notre Dame without getting carried away.
Speaking of other worlds, Orlando Woolridge dribbled too much and finally hit it with both hands, and it's UCLA in a tie game going the other direction.
Well, we're getting very close to the chess game where the coaches become more a part of the game.
How can that happen? They've been in it all the way so far.
Well, more in the first 5 minutes, then they opened it up a little bit. But now you're getting back to where do you go zone, where do you hold the ball, where do you isolate, where do you go to the foul situation.
I think that little confrontation they had right before the half has calmed both of them down a little bit, though, because they really went after each other. Now it's a mental process, not so much a physical one for them.
Trapuka with Sanders, Sluby and Pruitt.
Nice the way Paxton cleared out that time.
Inside, Woolridge, he was fouled by Pruitt. Saved a basket.
Notre Dame seems to be getting the control. They're getting the better shot off, or the better opportunity for the shot, than UCLA. UCLA kind of getting away from their offense now.
What's happening, the tri-captains, the seniors, to get to the end of the game. Orlando Woolridge, Tracy Jackson.
Woolridge is a fair shooter, 64%.
You know, Dick, the seniors are being a big factor in the country. You've got LSU playing well. They're a veteran ball club. Then Oregon State, who we'll see next
week. Those 5 seniors have been together 4 years.
That's right. It's a big, big difference. And then you got Virginia with Raker and Lamp, that they've been around for a while.
By the way, speaking of Jeff Lamp, congratulations to him on joining the 2,000-point club. And last night, Mark Aguirre became the 113th member of that select fraternity.
In 3 years. He did it in 3. That's amazing. That's strong.
47-46 Notre Dame, 5 minutes left.
I think it's Fields' turn on Sluby.
If they get it in there, he'll score.
Yeah, they need to go Fields on Sluby. As you've got Woolridge is doing the job on Sanders. They're going to have to test Sluby a little bit.
Foster has Tracy Jackson, Pruitt with Trapuka. Sanders. Boy, Woolridge got away with a push.
Great defense.
Great both, Billy. Good offense, patience, great defense by Notre Dame. 2 well-coached teams. They know they're down to where any little mistake can mean the ball game.
4:20, Darren Day at the scores table will be coming in shortly for UCLA. One thing you haven't pointed out, gentlemen, Digger Phelps not substituting the way he has in the past. He's really stayed with a 6 or 7. Foster forcing a shot. There come the Irish.
Foster's been impatient the whole time today, and that was not a good shot selection.
That was a poor selection.
Yep.
Foster has only 4 points today. He did not score against USC on Friday night, did not start.
Digger came close to wanting a timeout there, Al, just to make sure they didn't come down and do something foolish.
Well, he's got his thoroughbreds in there right now.
Great pass, but Paxson passed it up. Jackson alone.
Boy, he didn't concentrate on that jumper.
Fields came up with a loose ball. Foster one-on-one, but he'll slow her down. 3:30 left. Pruitt passed up a jumper. Larry Brown wanted him to shoot that.
Yeah, too much indecision on the shooting of the freshman out there.
I think Larry needs a timeout. They really do. Got a lot of indecision as to who's going to put it up.
Sanders, he travels.
Needed the timeout there.
They need Darren Day in there. They need someone very positive, Mike Holton, that's going to go in there and take the shot. It's a very tough position for a freshman to be in.
Pruitt will come out. Day goes in.
Oh, I'm looking at the bench. I didn't know he was over there.
47-46. Digger Phelps Irish in the lead with 3:13 left, and they have the pumpkin.
Yeah, nobody can get too cute in the coaching right now because it's only a 1-point spread. There's no room to move.
And Digger's going to be the man who calls the timeout. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left. The 9th rated Irish 47, 12th ranked UCLA 46.
Chevrolet announces America's lowest priced full-size diesel-equipped sedan, Chevrolet Impala. Look at these mileage numbers. Now that's better fuel economy than some smaller foreign cars, and you get the economy of lower priced diesel fuel. You get incredible cruising range estimates like these, all with roomy full-size comfort. So get up ahead with America's lowest priced full-size sedan or coupe, the 81 Chevy Impala, now with available diesel economy.
Copier companies have been introducing small copiers with a very interesting claim.
It's just as good as a Xerox.
It's just as good as a Xerox. Then one day...
this compact copier is very versatile. It even copies on your own letterhead. It's inexpensive, but best of all...
I know, it's just as good as a Xerox.
It is a Xerox.
The Xerox 2600, the compact copier that really is just as good as a Xerox.
On NBC Sports World, coverage of the World Pro Figure Skating Championship, the speed of World Cup slalom skiing from Austria, and Herschel Walker and Skeets Nehemiah in the Milrose Games later today.
Skating, skiing, and some outstanding indoor track and field to follow on NBC Sports World. Here at Notre Dame, 3 minutes and 10 seconds left. Notre Dame leads UCLA by 1 at 47-46. Notre Dame with plenty of timeouts left. Irish have the ball as we resume play. Notre Dame has lost only 3 times to UCLA early in the season, and then on the road to San Francisco by 3 and Marquette by 2. They've not lost at home. They're 12-0 here. UCLA's losses to DePaul, Oregon State, and 2 close defeats to Arizona State and USC, where missed free throws late in the game cost them possible victories.
Obviously both NCAA bound, I believe.
No question about that one.
Picking down, 3 minutes left, 3.
Any coach would be happy with the man-to-man defensive pressure UCLA's put on today. They've really played well as a team defensively.
Tripucka with Sanders. They're the leading scorers for their respective teams.
Whoop. Semi-delay here. Now Woolridge can handle the ball out here.
Giving us a little French pastry that time.
Seems like they'd want to go ahead and try to post up Tripucka in here, spreading it out low.
Sanders and Tripucka. Sluby with day on him. Woolridge has the freshman Kenny Fields.
Too much time left for this.
There goes Tripucka. And holding the call against Sanders as Tripucka started his drive. 4th foul on Mike Sanders. Now check that. Sanders has his first.
Yeah, but not a good foul to commit either. You've got Tripucka, the one guy you want to make him get rid of that ball. Don't foul him. You're talking about a guy that's an 85% free throw shooter that when he goes in this part of the game is a 95% free throw.
Well, they should foul Woolridge, who shoots 64%, Billy, or foul the freshman, even though he made a big one against Maryland. Yes, you don't know who to foul, always foul the freshman. But he stood up there in Maryland and made a big 1-and-1.
Yes, he did.
Tripucka, that was his 101st successful free throw this year. He's been there often, misses that one. So UCLA can tie it with a goal.
That puts us even. That makes a possibility of an OT, overtime.
Maybe Fouts knew what he was talking about.
Buddy from UCLA look a little hesitant to put the ball up.
That's why Darren Day should take the shot.
Inside to Fields, over Tripucka. He can't hit. Tipped by Day, and he was fouled. Somebody over the back. Day unhappy, winces that he missed that tip.
Fields got the shot that he wanted. Put it up there well. Good turnaround jumper, stayed right with it. There's Darren Day in among the Giants.
Woolridge had the foul, his second. Day on the line, trying to tie it with 1:56 left.
Darren Day has great self-confidence. He's cat quick. He sees the whole court. He plays under control.
Right down the middle. It's 48-47. Tony Anderson off the bench. He's going to come in. UCLA has shot remarkably well under this pressure of a partisan crowd. 11 for 13, and Notre Dame 6 of only 10.
Here's a big shot. Now, I always think of these golfers that they can't click the camera because it upsets them. Look at the moving, the yelling, and here's a 19-year-old kid in the line, and if he misses, you say he choked up.
Tied at 48.
And those golfers got to go, shh, the guy's taking a putt. The guy's 42 years of age, works 365 days a year at it.
Timeout, Notre Dame. Their second.
What a parallel. We're going to be seeing that Hawaiian Open next week. You're right. Let's look ahead to Sports World to follow this game.
On NBC Sports World, see the high-speed thrills of World Cup slalom skiing from Austria, plus the World Pro Figure Skating Championship featuring 6-time Canadian champion Tyler Cranston, the exciting team of Jim Milnes and Colleen O'Connor, the spectacular Christina Ragozzi and Andra Soleil, and the unbelievable acrobatics of Charlie Tickner. Then track's most prestigious event, the Milrose Games, featuring Skeets Nehemiah and Herschel Walker, all later today on NBC Sports World.
Well, the Sports World off to a great start. I know many of you have enjoyed it because the ratings have been outstanding at figure skating that will culminate in 4 weeks. The championship of the 80s team against past Olympic stars, and the slalom skiing, grand excitement, the drama, the downhill slopes, and the Melrose Games, and some outstanding performances in Madison Square Garden. So stay with us after the game. Now back to the Athletic Convocation Center. 1 minute 51 seconds left. Each team with 48 points. What do you think's happening in that Notre Dame huddle, Billy?
Well, we've got the timeout situation covered pretty well. You've got Notre Dame with 3, UCLA with 2, assuming that it doesn't go overtime. Pretty good situation for both teams. I think Digger called a very wise timeout there. He had possession of the ball, got a tie score. He wants to make absolutely sure they know what they're supposed to do offensively.
What do you think they'll do?
UCLA's going out man-to-man, and they're going to pressure the ball.
I think they're going to go to Tripucka again down low, try to get him on that foul line.
Anderson is on Tripucka, and he is down low. Now he comes out on top. There you go. Anderson doing a good job of hawking him.
5 seconds.
And a turnover. That'll go to UCLA.
Big overplay defense, a great quickness. Nobody came back to Tripucka. To be quite honest, he probably made a mistake by taking the ball down in the corner and giving up his dribble.
Good call by Larry Brown. Put that man-to-man pressure out there. There's plenty of time left. There's still plenty of time left. They'll start Mickey Mousing a little bit here with the ball, but they got to go to the basket.
Holton wants the ball inside.
You're not going to hold it for the final minute, 15 seconds?
There's a lot of time. If you could do it, you will, but I think Notre Dame put too much pressure on him.
Anderson back outside to Foster. Clock ticking down toward the 1 minute mark. 48-48, Notre Dame and UCLA. Renewal of this great rivalry, and it has matched many of the outstanding games of the 70s.
You got 25 seconds, Notre Dame, to do something. After it gets below 30 seconds, you then must either drop back into his own, overplay the better outside shooters. Larry will come in with a timeout with about 20 seconds to go for the half. Notre Dame setting back, only playing token defense, so UCLA is going to be able to wind it down, which I believe is a no-no.
Aaron Day against Tripucka, Holton and Jackson. 29 seconds left. Remember, UCLA did not do this well at the end of the first half. It actually cost them a 4-point swing.
They got to go for the timeout right about now, the first timeout.
Holton sees daylight.
No, no, no.
Got fouled by Woolridge.
I'm only saying what I would do. These coaches could beat me in the dark probably. But no, they could have played to win and not to lose.
Now he has to make both free throws just to tie.
No, well, I hope he makes both free. But the point I'm saying, Dick, is that UCLA could play for the last shot. The worst they could do is go into overtime. The best they could do is win.
And in this case, if he should miss the free throw, Notre Dame's in the catbird seat.
Well, now don't forget he got fouled. If he didn't get fouled, then it might have been a problem. Then maybe the ball would have went in if he didn't get fouled. Pressure shot.
84% free throw shooter going to the line. Digger calls the timeout. Wants to do the little icing.
Yeah, I think he'll probably come in with 2 timeouts maybe, Bill.
Well, he had 3 left.
Yeah.
That puts him down to 2. He still has himself with 15 seconds to go, 2 left, and he calls another one, which he can, and he'll get one in overtime if it went that way to pick it back up, so it might not be a bad move.
I think what you're going to also see, I also think you're going to see the crowd go bananas to try to psych out the young kid going up in foul shot.
And this would be an interesting time, and we remember the play that was made here 2 years ago by Knowles, and he had to shoot the ball right in the face of this stretch.
Right. What happened here? We started at the top of the show. Larry Brown decided to go into the student zoo. That means, which usually you want your team coming to your bench the second half. He said, no, I want to go into the more calm season ticket holder. Most teams, the visiting team has the prerogative to pick what basket they want to shoot at the first half. Normally you look to see where the clocks are. Normally you figure where the band is. But you want the team, usually offensive coaches, to be down your end of the court the second half. Larry Brown sacrificed that, which I thought was a great move. And now it ends up where he's shooting away from himself, but they're not shooting into probably 5,000 students acting like 1 million BC. How's that?
That's a speech.
That's enough.
That's $1,000 speech.
I need an honorarium. Speaking tomorrow night in Buffalo for the Dunlap Company.
15 seconds left. Michael Holton at the line. He has 4 points in the game. Holton is a good free throw shooter. 84% on the year.
Here they come. It's like the Charge of Life Brigade. That noise is starting to bounce around.
He almost dropped the ball. He took it from the official.
Look at that behind the basket. Oh!
Now we got a real problem here. If he makes this one, of course, we got to consider the foul situation at the other end of the floor.
Now the crowd is even going a couple of octaves louder. But if he makes this one, we got no overtime. Oh, a big hit by the young guy.
49-48.
Timeout.
Can win it with a basket. They're not calling time.
Oh, okay.
Paxson going one-on-one inside.
Jackson forces a long one. UCLA's Foster is fouled by Sluby. And look at UCLA, and they're in the camp of the enemy. They can make all the noise they want, and it's swallowed up in this place.
5 seconds to go. Jackson took the jumper. Excellent defense by Holton. Remember earlier in the game when he got called for a foul against the same kind of jump shot? He came down with a wrist slap. That time he went straight up with the jump shooter. Great defensive play.
We haven't picked our MVP, guys.
Well, let's wait.
All right.
Digger's going to give us time. He's used his next to last timeout. 5 seconds left in the game. And it's still pressure on UCLA. They've got to make at least one of these to preserve a possible tie. Executive producer of NBC's College Basketball is Don Ohlmeyer, and our coordinating producer is George Finkel. Today's telecast, and congratulations, gentlemen, and terrific job from the cameras, the audio, all the technicians, produced by George Finkel and directed by the old pro Harry Coyle, technical director Bruce Berquist, feature producer Don McGuire, Peter Rolfe, associate producer, associate director Randy Wands, production manager Jim Crawford, unit manager Wanzo Galloway Jr., and our statistician non-Perel Jack Suds Bailey. 5 seconds left, 49-48. I'll tell you what's going on in terms of the most valuable player. Al McGuire wants to give it to Ducky Drake, the venerable trainer of the UCLA Bruins, who has been on the UCLA campus since he matriculated as a freshman in 1922. And he's still part of more than a half a century of athletics there.
Well, Larry Brown said he's my only senior. He's been there 57 years. He's on a contractual basis because you got to retire. So they hire him by each year. The track out there, he's the head track coach. The track is named after him. And I just think that he kept these guys well, and he's had very few injuries. He's been a credit to college basketball. So that would be my vote, but we'll see.
You know, on the back at UCLA yesterday, they dedicated their new baseball stadium, Jackie Robinson Field. Robinson was a NCAA record broad jumper at UCLA and won the NCAA for Ducky Drake. We'll see about that MVP. At the line is Rod Foster, one of the nation's very best. Foster has been nearly perfect this year. He's missed only 4 of 46. So the right man on the line, and that at least ties it. And now Brown wants to call time.
And you notice where he's calling the time? Almost in front of Digger's bench.
Excellent timeout at that particular time to get the rules straight. What he's going to say to his team now. Are we staying here, Dick, or are we going to commercial?
Well, let's stay right here.
He's saying to his team now, if we miss this foul shot, no three-point play. If we make the foul shot, the same thing. No three-point play. We'll go to overtime. But make or miss, don't commit a foul.
The smartest thing he could do right here is probably, with 5 seconds to go, he can think about missing the free throw, let the ball bounce around for rebounding purposes.
He's dangerous, Billy. Oh, that's dangerous.
Did you ever think of that, though, Al?
If there was 2 seconds left, but
maybe,
at 5 seconds, it's just too much time. I've seen too many shots made from half court.
NBC Sports World.
Well, talk about shots making from half court. One of Notre Dame's losses this year was one of the most incredible half court shots I've seen all year. That one that was made by Marquette up at Milwaukee.
Glenn Rivers, 1 second left on the clock, which means a second left. Marquette had the ball the other side of half court. They threw him the ball while he was in the air. He shot it 35 feet. It went in off the glass, probably the greatest shot I've ever seen.
Do you think now that Digger Phelps with Foster going out to the line might call a timeout himself now, since this was UCLA's timeout? He may ask Rod Foster to wait a little longer.
He might. I think another thing that Larry wanted to do was to organize his team defensively. He wants to make sure that Notre Dame has to work to get the ball up the court, whether it's made or missed.
In fact, Woolridge is way down court now, and Darren Day with him, and now they're going to bring back Sanders, so they'll have 2 men in the back court, UCLA.
They should bring back 4.
Foster from New Britain, Connecticut, has made 43 of 47 this year. 91% plus. This could all but ice it. 51-48. Tripucka to Paxson. Well, let him shoot it. Doesn't make it. Woolridge scores. It counts at the buzzer. UCLA upsets Notre Dame. The final score, the Bruins 51, the Irish 50. And the most valuable player award, well, we'll give it Ducky Drake, the trainer of the UCLA Bruins, who has touched every player on the floor today and goes in over 50 years of athletics on the UCLA campus. $1,000 Chevrolet goes to UCLA in honor of Ducky Drake of the Bruins. A great game, and we're leading it down the stretch to more as we go to the NCAA tournament. Stay tuned for Sprint Skates and Skis on NBC Sports World following these messages from your local station.